Hi everyone, and welcome to another video with me, the Maltipoo Mom. I'm Jen, and in this video we're going to go over some maintenance costs in having a dog. Now I've been a dog owner for 5 years, going on to 6. Kimi is my Maltipoo. She is currently 5, and I never thought to write down the cost of caring for my dog. Now, everyone's personal cost is going to be different. This is just my cost. Disclaimer, all the products that I mention in this video, I've paid with my hardworking money. I am not being sponsored by any of these brands. This is just simply me being a dog mom. I got to go get this kind of stuff for my dog. And again, everyone's cost is going to be different. I've just never put it down with pen and paper just to see what my yearly cost is. And I think I'm going to do this every year, and it may be more of like a January video. Right now I'm just doing a video based on what I can project for this year. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Now, I am putting this on my blog page as well. So if you guys want to see the breakdown, I will have it on my blog page as well. I feel like it took me, actually, this took about 4 days to put together. And the reason why it took 4 days, because the more time I take to figure something out, I start to remember things that, oh, I should have added that. I should have put that cost because it is something I get for my dog. So this took me 4 days to do. Now, keep in mind, Kimi is 5 years old. So these costs will change over time. So the first thing I'm going to go over is insurance. Now, yes, Kimi does have pet insurance, and we have had pet insurance. Well, at least I have had pet insurance since Kimi was a very young puppy. But this year I've had to change the company we have pet insurance with. And so that cost has definitely gone up tremendously. And she's at an age where things are going to happen at some point, and I'd rather be prepared. So the first thing is going to be pet insurance, and that in a 1 year costs me about $1,600, so $1,600. Now, I don't pay that all up front, of course, because I just can't do that, but I do pay every few months in installments. So I got Kimi that I think is the best pet insurance as possible. And if you guys want information based on pet insurance and what I go through to find out information and what may work best for my pet, comment down below. I will do a video in the future if there's a lot of interest. I will probably do a blog post about this as well, because I do see a lot of questions on pet insurance from the various Facebook groups that I'm in. So I'm going to go ahead and probably work on that. That posting will take some time because it takes a lot of research. The next section is dog maintenance. So this is kind of like food and regular things you're probably going to need on a yearly. So the first thing is food. Now, Kimi is on currently Hale's prescription diet, ZD low fat. So she's on that soy diet basically. And I would have to order that 5 times per year because she does go through quite a bit, but I always get the smallest packaging. I don't get like the big 25-pound bags. I just feel like fresher the better. And so I do have to purchase that 5 times this year, and that is going to be $310. Also, all these costs, I'm just letting you guys know, this is all before tax. I'm not even including tax in this. If I were to include tax, I'm pretty sure I'm paying maybe hundreds of dollars in taxes on top of the cost I'm going to reveal in the end. So food is about 5 times a year. I do send some food to her daycare, and then I do keep some here. And the bags are usually about they're 8-pound bags. So she goes through one every other month or every 3 months. Just depends on her appetite and what's happening. So that's how much I'm paying for food. The next one is flea, tick, heartworm medication. So Kimi is on this. I'm covering the information here, but this is NextGuard Plus. This is for 4 to 8 pound dogs. There's 6 in a box. So I go through this twice a year. And guys, the cost in getting these are expensive. I feel like the price goes up every time I purchase every 6 months. But based on current prices, to buy 2 a year, it's costing me $424. That's quite a bit, but that's how much I have to pay to make sure Kimi doesn't catch any of these. Toys is the next one. Luckily, Kimi's so small and she's not that strong that she doesn't tear up her toys. So she still has toys, even ones from when she first came to this house. And I probably only spend $20 a year on toys. I did not put treats in this category. And I didn't put treats in this cost because she doesn't really eat treats anymore due to the diet she's on. Treats may come back in the future, but for this year, I'm not putting that in the cost. The next section is medical. Now, medical is like vet visits, dental cleanings, ER visits. So these are the costs that I've had so far this year, but also what I'm projecting. So vet visits, I've probably spent $504 so far this year, and this is not including ER visits. She hasn't had an ER visit this year, if I recall, so far, but that's a good thing. Dental cleaning. Dental cleaning costs quite a bit. So I paid $1,632. That is very steep. Compared to years past, at least compared to last year. So I'm curious to see what the upcoming year is going to be. Kimi gets a dental cleaning once a year, and I will be talking more about this in a future video about her dental routine. The next section is grooming. Now, I do spend a lot of money on grooming for my Maltipoo. So the first thing is professional grooming. Now, Kimi goes to a professional groomer once a month. It's usually the beginning of the month. And so, and this includes sometimes, if we do micro bubble baths, I do micro bubble baths probably 3 times a year for Kimi to help with relieving her any itching, and clean her hair follicle areas. If you don't know about micro bubble baths, I highly recommend it for dogs who have allergies. So for 1 year with a professional groomer, I spend about $1,370 a year, guys. That is a lot. That's probably one of the bigger expenses of the year. I might try to drop this down starting next year. I'm curious to see how much farther I can get that down, because there's times where Kimi's hair doesn't grow fast, and as years have gone on, it has slowed down. So I actually want to grow out her hair again, and we'll see how the next appointments are, and see how much that cost can go down, because she may just need a touch up. The next one is toothbrushes. Now, I use these H&H Pets toothbrushes for cats and small dogs. This is probably the smallest one for her mouth that I could find. I usually will get quite a bit of these. I go through maybe about 3 of these a year. It costs about $12 for a pack of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 brushes. So it's like one a month, and that costs me $36. Now toothbrushes, no, actually I already did toothbrushes. Toothpaste. So I use this one. This is Pet Smile. This is by the VOHC. If you guys don't know the VOHC, they are the Veterinary Oral Health Council. So there are certain standards these guys hold in order to get their seal of approval. They you have to meet their standards, and so I do use this. We've been using it for a few years, and luckily enough, I go through only about 1 of these a year, and this is the 4.2 ounces. If I got the half size, I probably would go through 2 a year. So this is costing me $25. The next thing is water additive. Water additive is pretty pricey. I think this was $25. So I currently use the Scouts Honor Fresher Breath Flavorless Water Additive Advanced Tartar Control. So this is also on the VOHC's approved list of products, and I use this every time I give Kimi water and refresher water. I squirt a couple squirts of this because there is a squirter under here. And this is $25 a bottle if I remember correctly on Chewy. So I do like the product a lot. We were using Blue Stem before, but I couldn't find it for a long time. So I looked on the website and I found this, and I've been loving this a lot. So Kimi actually uses a lot of the products from this brand line. So I go through quite a bit of these. It costs me $200 a year for water additive. That's another one that's pretty high up there. Dental wipes. So we use these wipes. These are the Hick Pet Dental Finger Wipes. So this is not on the VOHC's website. However, I'm curious to try out the Scouts Honor version after I go through all these, but I usually will use these every day along with teeth brushing because Kimi doesn't like her front teeth brushed, so I will use these on her fronts and everywhere else in her mouth. So I will do that, and this costs about ooh, wow. I go through quite a bit of these. It's probably, let's see. Oh my gosh, I don't know. I should have wrote notes down. But there are 50 pieces in each. So I go through about 4 or 5 in a year. And this is costing me $144 a year. Now shampoo. I do bathe Kimi on a weekly, except for the weekends that she is going to a professional groomer. So that's about 3 or 4 times a week that she is getting a bath, and she uses the 4-leggers shampoo, and so that cost me $18. Luckily, I only go through 1 a year or a little bit more. I don't use that much of the shampoo because the shampoo is pretty, it lathers very well. Now the bigger expense of all of that, let me go ahead and grab that item. The other big expense that I was surprised but not surprised at the same time is the conditioner. Now Kimi uses the 4-leggers conditioner, this one. So she uses the certified organic Restore Vinegar Conditioning Rinse apple cider vinegar. So she uses this one, and she does use quite a bit of this. On a yearly, she is going through $128 worth of this. Now this is pretty expensive. This is the 16 fluid ounce, and if I remember correctly, this is $32. That is a lot, and because of the high cost in this, I am planning to switch Kimi to the Scouts Honor. We're curious to try out their shampoo and conditioner product. So I'm curious to see how much money we can save by switching over. So the reason why I used this one and this brand was because of the organic, but because of it being USDA organic. But the problem is this product itself is so expensive that I can't see myself spending this much all the time now. Now that Kimi is 5 and I'm expecting some issues in the future, I think I'm gonna have to find more cost-effective products. So cost-effective and that works. So I will have to switch over to save money. Now, another cost that is really expensive for me is pee pads. Now, Kimi is pee pad trained. We have been using the Smart pads for the longest time. Now, there's 50 in a pack that I buy and only sold through Amazon. So currently right now it's $42 for a 50 pack. So it's quite a bit of money. But the quality is so great, I can't stop. And plus, my parents actually like this one. So, despite the cost, I have to always get it because the other brands that we have tried, nothing just compares with Smart. So, that on a yearly, because it's 50 in a pack, $42, it costs us about, I'm having to buy about 8 packs a year. And that's about $336 a year. So it's quite a bit of money. The next thing is poop bags. Now, Kimi uses the earth-rated poop bags. And we usually will get the scented 900 count. And so that lasts us for over a year. And whenever I do buy it, it costs us $40 a box. Now, the last category I have is tracking. So what I mean by tracking is GPS. So if Kimi were to run and she has her GPS collar on her, I can find her. But to utilize that feature, it does cost a lot of money. So Kimi does have a Fi collar. This is the collar she has. I know they have the mini, but the battery life on that is not as great as this one. But I'm curious to try because it says it is for smaller dogs. And so who knows, I might switch over. And for a 1 year usage of the GPS system in this, it's costing me $189. That is pretty steep for 1 year. Now, I know there are other brands out there, and I know there are other brands out there that may be more cost effective, but the battery life is the thing that makes it harder to choose the others. And we had one before, but the battery life, I've had to charge it every day. This one I charge maybe once every three days. And so it's actually more worth it to charge it less than more. Now, that is my whole list. Now, if I were to add all of this up, I'm hoping I calculated the total right. In total, it costs me about $6,976 a year. That's about $7,000 a year, guys, to maintain my Maltipoo. I know people are going to say that is a lot of money. Now, I am the type of person who wants the best care for my dog. My dog is my child. So I do spend quite a bit on her. And I know many people are going to think that is way too excessive to spend on a dog. Well, a dog is a living animal, and if you want to care for your dog and want your dog to live a long life, then I will do all it takes to make sure she is in the best health possible. Now, if you guys find it interesting, give it a thumbs up if you guys like the video. If you guys want to see or have questions about the maintenance cost, comment down below. And if you guys are interested in me and Kimmy, go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell, and we will see you all in the next video. Bye.